Hello, investors and traders, and welcome to the midweek market report coming at you midday on this Wednesday, May 28th. I'm delivering this a little bit early because we have grandkids that have graduation today. It's an all-day affair because we have the younger ones in the morning. Our oldest granddaughter's ceremony is later in the afternoon, but I figured let me get this one out while the markets are moving and you could see exactly what's going on. Now, we have a resistance point here on the diamonds. And if you look real closely, we're right at this gap fill resistance area, and we have a resistance coming to us from this high back earlier in March. And so that looks like it's going to hold, the resistance that is, because look at that volume. Now, I'm recording this around 1 p.m. in the afternoon here, which is more than halfway through the trading day, yet we don't even have half of the volume from yesterday. Now, this is a testament to the old saying, buy the rumor, sell the news. News came out yesterday that Donald Trump was more or less putting the EU tariffs on hold until July. Markets rally the Dow over 700 points, and we have absolutely no follow through on hardly any volume. So I'm keeping that long-term downside target in place at 368.12. And some of you might say, well, that's a pretty extreme target. How could you keep that target in place? Well, if you wait to the very end, I'm going to show you what I've found as far as history and how it's repeating all over again from the same footprint we saw back in 2022. So stand by for that. Looking at IWM, you're going to see pretty much the same thing. We got a gap fill above the market here that is filled, and that's going to act as resistance. We have this resistance from back here again in March, and my downside target still in place at 175.81. Last night we had the rapid fire session. We moved it up a day early. We went over 50 stocks in 60 minutes. And what we found is we had very few star favorites. Now, if you're brand new to this channel or to StickyTrades, when I put out a star favorite candidate, that is a stock where the technicals are following on all counts on the technical signals, either all buy or all sell. And we only had 3 out of the 50 showing technicals that were in line all on one side or the other. And when you see that happening, it tells us that the markets really don't have any kind of conviction either way at this point. But once we start turning lower, I think you're going to see the sellers start to move in. What we have here is very close to a bearish harami. We have a gap below the market now that's going to act as a price magnet. Again, low volume, less than half of what we saw yesterday. And my downside target on IWM is 175.81. If you look at the weekly chart on this, you're going to see that we're bumping our heads right up against that 20-week moving average. It's very close to being the 100-day moving average. And if you look at the oscillators on the weekly, we have an extremely overbought condition with the stochastic, the divergence between the K and the D right there. The percent K is the blue, the percent D is the red. When you see that, that's one of the widest divergences that we've had all year. And the last time we had divergence like that, the market took a nosedive in a very short period of time. And about in that month, we saw a pretty dramatic sell-off. So the weekly charts are confirming what I'm seeing on the daily chart. So keep your stops in place if you're long the market. Looking at QQQ, this is the tech sector, basically representing the NASDAQ stocks. You've got another very low volume day. You've got a spinning top at resistance. A spinning top candle is like a doji. It's a sign of indecision. And spinning tops generally show up at pivot points. You can see here's a spinning top here. You see a spinning top back here. You see them all over the place. Here's a spinning top right exactly at that high right there. And you generally see them when the buyers start to second guess themselves while the sellers are not totally convinced they want to go in and sell. That's what we talk about with it being a sign of indecision. Now, if we look at SPY, and I'm going to come back and revisit this one, you can see the same thing. We got a spinning top candle on low volume at resistance, And the oscillators are pivoting up here, but look at the CCI. It's hard to see. I'll magnify that. It was going in a pivot to the upside, and then you see that little hinge. It's starting to change its direction. The CCI is much more sensitive to changes in momentum because in the formula for the CCI, they take the average of the high, low, and close, which is labeled the typical price. And when you see that and you calculate that out, you'll see how sensitive it is to the changes in momentum. That's why I rely heavily on the CCI. And I talked about that a couple of weeks ago in one of the videos where I was highlighting the CCI. So you might want to go back and revisit that if you're at least curious about the commodity channel index. So downside target is still 497. 97, looking at the VIX. Remember, we gave some guarantees on that one with the VIX gaps fill 100% of the time. And last week, this gap here, see the gap down, that gap filled and then it reversed. And that's normally what you see. After a gap fills, you tend to see reversals about 80% of the time. But I still have this open gap on the VIX way up there at 36.85, and I do believe that will fill. I just can't tell you exactly when. I can tell you it will fill because if you go back in history and look at the VIX, you'll see every gap is filled once it was formed. So a bullish VIX is bearish for the S&P. And this works very well with the S&P and what I have to show you right here. This is our current chart. Obviously, it's pretty easy to see the date here being today, May 28th. But I took a snapshot of the S&P yesterday, and I just want to show you here how this compares. This is the current chart as of May 27th, yesterday, and I overlaid the chart from 2022, and it's almost the exact footprint. Look at that. We have a higher high showing right at the high, and then what happened? The moving average rolled over. And it's even the moving averages are almost right on top of one another. So it's not hard for me to keep that downside target, knowing that there's a good chance history will repeat itself. So this Friday, I am going to put out another lesson for you, whether it be a technical indicator or if we have a good trade to show you, we'll show you the trade of the week. Right now, we have spreads that are on making money through time decay. Next week and the week after that, we'll be collecting a bunch of cash as we roll our positions. And that's the most interesting part of the month. As we get closer to expiration, we roll the positions for cash and it helps us pay down the cost basis. My goal here on this channel is to provide you with the most educational information that I possibly can. Yet last week we had a problem with YouTube. I cannot figure out what that is, but we had a problem with the comments. If you could, please submit your comments and be patient if it doesn't show up right away. The other thing I'm going to ask is to ensure delivery of this video to you. Please go to the very top right of the channel and you'll see a notification bell. It looks like this. Just click on that notification bell and you'll be guaranteed to get the video even if it doesn't show up on the menu. So it'll save you some time in having to look at that. It'll just notify you when the video is posted and you can get right to it. So again, thank you for liking and subscribing, clicking the notification bell, all that good stuff. It helps us get those algorithms out there working our channel to get more eyes on the content. And we have you to thank for that. All right, so have a good rest of the week and I'll talk to you on Friday. So long.